Oh, hello everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to another class and another lesson and a blessing with yours truly, your counselor, Mr. James Horton. We're going to be dealing with a topic today that I call taking life for granted. Taking life for granted. A recent overwhelming episode of threatening these diseases that's threatening out many people's lives around the country and around the world. I thought a topic would be very good to reach out to you on, and I call it taking life for granted. Many of us are taking life for granted. Many of us are doing things we shouldn't do, and we're making very bad choices. And as I believe in a power greater than myself that I call God, I also believe that there's a lesson within a blessing. There's a lesson here, and there's also a blessing here if you choose to receive the blessing. Many times we choose not to receive blessings. We choose not to see if we have a blessing right in front of us. We choose to not look at some of the people that have come into our lives as a blessing, and sometimes we destroy the blessing, and we lose out on a lesson. We learn a lesson. Some of us learn a lesson, and some of us get a chance to get another blessing. We still destroy the blessing within that last lesson. All right? So this paper, again, is called Taking Life for Granted. It says, let me put my bifocals on. All right, that's a little better. It says, many people live life as though it was just supposed to be. We expect to wake up every morning just because some of us do. Some of us look at the trees, birds in the sky, and we think nothing of it. We even take our cars, jobs, and apartments and homes for granted. It's, we do. We take that for granted. Yes, it's there. Some of us say, hey, why clean up? Why wipe the table off? Why wash and fold clothes? Why do that? We don't even trip. We even we take the landlord for granted, the property we may have bought for granted, because we figure we can just go get another one. It's easy. It's nothing. And we very often look at the people that's living under the bridge. We take these things for granted because it's only a blessing that you have many of those things that other people may not have. So we take that for granted. It says, what if you woke up one day and couldn't move your arms or legs? How would you feel or react? I mean, we take being able to exercise, being able to, loosen up, being able to go down and get the groceries out the trunk of the car and bring them in the house. We take things for granted, and we don't realize it. Many times we don't realize it until it's gone. Many times we don't realize what freedom is until you're locked into a house, until your car van, you're in a quarantine within a facility and you can't move. They put a fence around your neighborhood and say you can't leave outside the fence, and the military will come get you if you do. We take these things for granted. All countries and all places don't have the freedom that we have in the United States. So we just wanted to hit you with that, taking things for granted. All right? It says, what if you woke up one day and the love of your life that you took for granted was gone forever? What would you do and how would you feel? Oh, I know a lot of you player women and player men, you say, oh, I'll go get another one. I'll just go grab somebody else. Really? You'll go grab who? And how are you going to get inside someone else's quarantine? You know, like how are you gonna get in there? Because people are locked down. You know, it's not as free as you think it is. You can take a chance and say, oh, I found Boo's number. You know, I found baby girl's number. And they answer the phone, yet you go over there and, you know, it can be trouble. You can be on your way over there and get pulled over by a police officer, right? Get a ticket or something, get took to jail because they ask you where you going. You have the wrong answer. You say, I'm going over my friend's house. You know, the rules are if you're not going to go maybe to the bank to get some money, to go to the store, all that leisure stuff that you took for granted has been cut off. So something you might want to think about, you know. And if you got a good somebody that you've taken for granted, cut that taking for granted out and start appreciating that person, right? So you don't have to go look for somebody else, right? Okay. Now, next one says, what if you woke up one day and there were no one else around but you? No cars moving, no birds flying, no animals, no cell phones ringing, no music playing. How would you know if you were dead or alive? Please explain. Thought I would add that in. I was once watching a Will Smith movie, one of his great movies, and he seemed to be the only human being around. We need each other. We need the contact with other people. We need to know that we're alive. And if you don't see anybody, if you are quarantined in a way to where you wake up in the morning and nobody's around, that woman, that man, those children, the people that you have normally seen, your neighbors, nobody's around. You look under cars, you look around buildings, you go inside buildings, and you don't see anybody. You just are walking and walking and walking. You're going everywhere. You know, you even diving in water, thinking people might be underwater somewhere because you can't find nobody. So this is a sign to tell you that we were born to be in communication with other people. And lots of times we seem to not appreciate that, what we have. You know, we seem to not appreciate that. We go around talking about people, talking behind people's back, saying someone did something that they didn't even do, making up stories about people because we are so miserable, so down on ourselves, so erratic and crazy that we seem to just, you know, guess what so-and-so did? Guess who so-and-so sleeping with? Who the hell cares, right? Why is that your business? You must ask yourself, why are you participating in this sort of behavior or allowing someone else to share that behavior with you and you become the receiver of it? You know, don't let it in. You know, tell them, look, I don't want to talk about other people. You know, I don't want to be involved in that. I don't want to become responsible for the mess that you're bringing to my table. Right? Tell them, let them know. Right? Tell them I don't receive unhealthy stuff in my spirit and I'd rather not go there and talk about it. Right? Start learning to check yourself where you can check others. Right? Make some principles about yourself and some principles about your life. You know, think about that. You know, we all so often take life for granted. We take life for granted and we don't even realize the riches of life, the riches of the world. We have many talents that we don't even use. We don't even use most of the talents that we have. We become talkers instead of doers, right? We don't realize that the richest place on the planet is actually the cemetery, because that's where you'll find individuals like yourself that have been given the gifts of life, gifts to know how to speak in a certain way like myself, gifts to know how to touch people in a certain way, gifts to know how to have an open heart, gifts to know how to rhyme, make raps, do all kind of things. We have many, many gifts. Gifts to know how to write in a special way. We have many, many gifts, but most of the people who have been given those gifts from God have died, you guys, without ever doing anything with them. So imagine, if you will, as I've heard one of the great writers that I got a chance to meet in 2003, Les Brown. He said, the richest place on the planet is not over in Saudi Arabia where the oil wells are at. The richest place, he said, is not over where the diamond mines are at. He said the richest place on the planet, you guys, is a cemetery. Because there you'll find individuals like yourself and myself that have been given the gifts of life. Gifts that ought to sing in a certain way, gifts that ought to dress in a certain way, gifts that ought to do all kind of things in life. But most of the people who have been given those gifts from God have died. So imagine, if you will, as I say, spirits standing around your deathbed with large angry eyes saying, you, sister, you, brother, could give us life, but now we're going to die with you. He said we should be ashamed to die without ever making a contribution to life. So I suggest that you find your purpose, find your reason to be in life. Stop taking life for granted, right? Find a purpose here, because I believe this corona thing, this killer virus that's going around, I believe that we are all called to, at the same time, we're called to stand up and make new purpose within our life. Make a new reason why we're here. Not to be messy, not to be abusive, not to beat our partners down, right? But to love on our partners as a special gift, and to love on ourselves as a gift. And you're supposed to take care of a gift. So find a purpose, because a life without a purpose is a life not worth living. All right, that's it for yours truly, the counselor, Mr. James Horton. Thank you for attending my group.